advert placement, you can call the number on your screen.
And you can visit our website at www.7fm.tv.
7TV Nigeria.
7TV.
7TV. It's all about you.
Comrade, we cannot say that everybody who is a worker in Nigeria is a member of the Labour Party.
Oh, certainly, like I said, every worker in Nigeria is a member of the Labour Party.
It is different from supporting a candidate.
No, see, let's put it straight. We understand the issues before now because the workers themselves, by resolution, their own resolution, registered their own political party, the Labour Party, in 2003. But of course, because the administrators of the party, those days, couldn't manage the workers and the process, they mismanaged it. Until most recently, when this leadership came into being and had to go back to its source, its base, it went back to the people, the workers, to say, we are back to return your party to you. The leadership of the NLC, the leadership of the TUC, NLC is Nigeria Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, the trade unions, the political commission, and 7 other registered political parties, like I said, came together to say, now let us return this party back to the owners. Mind you, I just said something. Every worker in Nigeria is a member of the Labour Party. And that process of ratification of membership by way of registration is ongoing. So, what I'm telling you today is it's ongoing.
It's not automatic. So the
it's
process
automatic. Mind you, you need to ratify. Now, this is how these things are done. You are the owners of this studio. Am I right?
Sure.
You are the owners of this studio. Now, by your own laws, by your own regulation, this studio belongs to you. If for any reason, any of you goes out of this studio and refuses to adhere by the rules, or probably somebody mismanaged the rules of this studio, a time will come when the rules of this studio will have to be applied. Because if you are a member of the board of directors of this studio, of this company, are you saying you are not taking ownership of your property? We are saying the owners of the Labour Party are the workers of Nigeria. This is their own political party. So all we have done basically is to return their property to them, for them to take ownership, as it were. Yeah.
The obedient movement is mostly, young people are mostly there. Of course, it's said to be for the young people, isn't it?
Well, let me make this, I call it a correction or an assertion. You see, the obedient movement cut across, but it is predominantly powered by the youth.
By the young people. All right, thank you. Young people are mostly known for political vices when it comes to every election season. Okay. They are used for different, maybe touchy activities and all of that. Now, your party is believed to be a party who don't give shishi, isn't it? Yeah. You people don't give money.
We don't give money.
You don't give money.
Nobody can say today authoritatively that Labour Party has given our money.
Okay, but you know that Nigerian politics, money is involved.
Sure, we are aware. A lot of money.
And some of these young people who find themselves doing political vices, some of them are swayed by money.
Well, basically, what we have found is a reversal of the process. Probably you call it a reversible chemical reaction if you are a scientist or an engineer. Now, we're in a system where hitherto before now, the politicians do all they could to bribe the people.
But
the contradiction here is that now the people themselves are making their own token of contribution to say, because this is our process, because we own this process, we are funding it. So the people themselves, this is a reverse situation. How do you approach a situation where the people themselves are now funding the process? So even those people who want to call thuggery and the rest of it, I can tell you, as we proceed for campaigns and the election, you see a marked departure. Now, we have developed what is called the Labour Party National Mobilization.org.ng. It's an online platform. Now, in this online platform, every eligible voter that is with the Labour Party is being captured. So, in the days ahead, you will see what is called organization. The Labour Party is coming with a unique approach to electioneering processes and activities. Even in terms of the voting, part of the mandate we have put on ourselves is to ensure that the 2023 presidential elections will be the freest, the most credible elections in Nigeria, because every vote is going to count. And how are we going to do that? We have deliberately put in place a 5 million man mobilization or canvassers or mobilization structure a 28-man polling unit mobilization force, over 176,864 polling units.
So the
That is
Labour
5
Party
million.
has 28
That's
man
what,
polling unit
that
agents.
is what I've just said now. And again, that is further ratified in the retreat. So what you are going to see in the days ahead is going to be a very unique approach to electionary activities.
All right, tell us
Yes.
about your majorly the supporters of the Labour Party have been accused by many as being abrasive and intolerant when it comes to people's different thoughts and of course people not agreeing to their candidate or the party ideology. There's been this attack. Why is it like that?
You see, mind you,
Why are your people always
mind
attacking
you,
people?
You see, I refuse to accept that obedience are the ones attacking people. Now, let me make this analogy. Our presidential candidate says, whatever he has said, he said, go and verify. Now, Labour, the obedience, they've not added to that claims. If Obi said, I constructed or I bought a cup, 7 television cup, you say he did not buy this cup. He says, go and
No,
verify.
we're talking about
Now,
the party's supporters.
I'm coming to that because we need to understand what the crux of the matter is. The crux of the matter, obedience have only re-emphasized all that our presidential candidate has ever said.
But
Now-
have you had people make that complaint before?
Oh, but again, people make, you see, they have a right
Have
to.
you- have you
No,
heard
these
it?
are allegations.
No, but you have had
Oh,
this
like I said,
allegation.
these are allegations. Of course, you should understand why these allegations will keep coming. Suddenly, Labour Party hitherto that was nowhere is in the forefront. The Labour Party today is driving the electoral process in Nigeria, political wise. So what they are doing, what the opposition is doing, with all intent and purposes, is to deride the effort of the party and its followership. So obedience, like I say, obedience are ardent believers of our principle, primarily, then the party by extension. What are they saying? They say, Obi said he has done this. If you say he did not do that, they say, go and verify.
Tell us
And nobody
about-
has come
tell-
back to
tell-
us to say, all that they were asked to go and verify have not been verified. They have all been verified.
Did you receive the new information given by INEC after a cleanup exercise that above 1 million registrants will be disfranchised from participating because of the cleanup exercise? Did you hear that?
Well, again, let me ask, what arguments did the INEC adduce?
Well, because of cleanup exercise about what
Like,
you know
what did they
that
find in their cleanup exercise?
Yeah. people who double registration and some of those other things, I mean, giving double names, wrong names, and all of that, so it doesn't tally.
No.
Did you receive that information?
Of course.
How did that come to you, considering the fact that because the Labour Party have actually boasted that majority of the 12.2 million registrants are young people, and of course the young people accompany the Labour Party.
Sure.
71% of those votes are young people.
Sure.
How did that news come to you, considering the fact that that is where the Labour Party seems to put?
It's okay.
Yes,
Now,
thank you.
the 12.2 million votes are additional registrant in addition to the earlier 84 million votes, bringing it to about 96.2 million votes.
Yes.
Now, with the cleanup, of course, the INEC, they have every legitimacy to ensure that if they notice double registration, such registrations are struck out. Because, of course, the law does not permit double registration.
Yes.
2, if there are certain elements in this registration that are not in conformity with the rules for registration, of course, they have a duty to clean up. Now, but again, for us, that does not affect the Labour Party adversely. Now, the reason for that is to say, basically, from what is before us, the youth of this country constitute a minimum of 70 to 75% of the total registered voter, for which today the Labour Party is sure that a minimum of 70% of the total registered voter of 96.2 million, are for the Labour Party. So, of course, we cannot say entirely because 1 million was extracted by way of cleanup from the 12.2 million that will affect the Labour Party adversely.
So you're
I'm
saying
putting it in a lump to say the entire registrant in Nigeria is let's say 95 million. Let's say 95 million the average. 60-70% of 95 million constitute the
Is,
youth
is,
of
is
this
it
country.
is it true
So
that
the Labour Party is still going to find a major chunk of this youth vote
is it true
in
that
its favour.
is it true that the Labour Party, of course, the Obedient Movement, have an affiliation with iPod?
No, that's not correct.
But you've had that.
Oh no, you see, the truth is we're in Nigeria where all manner of sentiment holds sway. But the reality of the situation in Nigeria is, how does iPod relate with obedience? I am an obedient. Are you aware?
Of course, you're wearing the.
I am. Are you saying I'm an iPod? iPod? No. iPod has its own ideology that it is pursuing. Obi, is he a member
But
of the iPod?
iPod, are they supporting Labour Party?
IPOB is not supporting Labour Party. Like I say, IPOB represents an ideology. Now, does it mean, for instance, Obi as a presidential candidate is from the southeast Anambra State? Does it mean every Anambarian in Nigeria is an IPOB? No.
All right. Now there have been arguments. Let me get your final take on this.
Even on the iPod, let me say something. Even on the iPod, what is the issue? The issue is political exclusion. That is the issue. They say we of the Southeast extraction have been excluded from the core political participation in Nigeria.
So
what they have asked for is inclusion.
So the Labour Party.
So what we need to do.
So the Labour Party
Yeah.
is in support of the IPOB agitation.
No, you need to understand what I've just said. What I said is the agitation, the IPOB agitation, had to do with political exclusion. The nation state excluding the southeast by their own calculation from this center. Now, if that is the call for the agitation of IPOB, the question will be, what is the solution? The solution will now be political inclusion of the southeast in the mainstream.
All right.
And Obi's emergence as a presidential candidate and ultimately his election as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will naturally bring in that exclusion to dispel the IPOB agitation.
All right, quickly.
For a peaceful
quickly, let me get this. People have tried to, of course, like I said earlier, this election seems to have a lot of intrigue. You know, nobody can actually say who is going to win this election as it is right now, because you have a strong force, PDP and APC as well. But the question is, people are arguing who is going to concede defeat. So let me ask you this. You are representing the Labour Party. Sure. And of course, you are representing your candidate here. Sure. If the Labour Party doesn't emerge as a winner, are they going to concede defeat?
No, basically, see, ahead of time, we are even so sure the victory is so clear before us. Why is it so clear for Labour Party?
No, but are they going to concede defeat?
In case, what I'm saying,
you see, politics has a lot.
Now, you see, these are the issues where we shall go into the elections proper. But then, how do you win elections? Election is a game of number. It's democracy. What's democracy? Government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And the people constitute a simple majority, the youth of this country.
So are they going to concede defeat in case they don't win the election? Because that is what democracy demands from us.
Mind you, like I said earlier, the Labour Party is going to ensure the elections of 2023 will be the freest and most credible election.
Of course, that the INEC
so what that means,
2022 electoral bill is guaranteeing that.
And again, because we are sure that we are of the simple majority, it is clear. The APC and the PDP today cannot boast, the way I'm talking now, that they are in simple majority.
You're representing the majority of you. Tell the young people who are watching you right now what they should do, of course, the right thing they should do in this election so that they can be used.
Well, basically, they have begun to do the right thing. First and foremost, we have had over 12 million youth or Nigerians who registered recently. Now, and we know that 70-80% of that number constitute the youth fold. That is one. The second thing to do is now we are at the verge of ensuring that every new registrar collects their PVC. So the process ahead from now going forward is to ensure that all those who register get their PVC. And part of what we have done, I think in 2 or 3 days time between now, today is Wednesday. Am I right? Today is Wednesday? Okay, sure. Let's say by Friday. Now, there is an amendment that has been made on our portal. Now, when you log on to register, our portal will be able to indicate to you, ask you a few questions. Have you collected your PVC? Yes. No. When you say no, we have the details of those who have not collected their PVC and be able to engage with them. to ensure that these PVCs are collected. Then two, we already have the INEC procedures for the PVCs that are ready to ensure that every Nigerian who has registered collect their PVCs. That's one. Two, in the days ahead, mind you, like I said, campaigns will begin 28 effectively. Today's 14. Within the next 2 weeks, 14 days, campaigns will have begun. Now, we have rolled out, designed a lot of programs for engagement. And above all, what the Labour Party desires to do, because our principle, our mantra is to change and move Nigeria from the consumption economy to the production economy. And the only way that is done is through effective engagement, engaging the youth of this country through the micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. And we have designed a process to engage a minimum of 5 million Nigerians between now and February, March 2023.
All right, so tell us what should the young people do quickly?
So what the young people need to do is what they are doing. Continue to give our presidential candidate this massive support. Continue to give Labour Party this massive support. Ensure that all those who have registered most recently get their PVC and get set for the election. Mind you, the INEC again has rolled out its ad hoc staff recruitment processes. Again, I'm enjoining all obedience in Nigeria to ensure that they take advantage of that window. Now, other Nigerians, again, this is how it will pan out. Mostly, we know that there are Nigerians that are not registered. So we will advise that most of those who will take up the burden of this INEC ad hoc staff, let it be mostly those who don't have their PVCs. But the Labour Party must be duly represented in that process to ensure that we have our hands on.
All right, thank you so much. That's all we can take for the program today. Comrade Eragbe Anselm, National Youth Leader and of Labour Party, and the senatorial candidate of Edo North. All right, thanks for joining us in the program. We wish to have your presidential candidate someday here so that we can talk about some of these things, of course, so Nigerians can be clarified on what to do. That's all we can take for the program today, 7 Politics. Join us sometime next week. Thank you.